अखिल भारतीय शिक्षा समागम के 11वें सत्र में यहाँ उपस्थित समस्त सम्मानित अतिथियों एवं विद्वजनों का मैं सुकेशी ऋषभ हार्दिक स्वागत करती हूँ, सादर अभिनंदन करती हूँ, शत शत वंदन करती हूँ। यह काशी का परम सौभाग्य है कि आज के गौरवपूर्ण अवसर पर देश के विविध विश्वविद्यालयों और संस्थानों के श्रेष्ठतम शिक्षाविद, अध्येता एवं गणमान्य जन हमारे मध्य उपस्थित हैं। आज के इस 11वें सत्र का विषय है सक्सेस स्टोरीज एंड बेस्ट प्रैक्टिसेस ऑफ NEP 2020 इम्प्लीमेंटेशन, जिस पर चर्चा करने हेतु यहाँ उपस्थित हैं चेयरपर्सन सहित सभी पैनलिस्ट्स। We are privileged to have as the esteemed chair of this session Professor T.G. Sitharam, Director IIT Guwahati. The distinguished panelists of this session are as follows: Professor Suhas Pednekar, Vice-Chancellor, University of Mumbai; Professor H.N. Nagaraja, Vice-Chancellor, Graphic Era, deemed to be University, Dehradun, Uttarakhand; Professor Alok Kumar Chakrawal, Vice-Chancellor, Guru Ghasidas Vishwavidyalaya, Bilaspur, Chhattisgarh; Dr. Shalini Bharat, Director, TIS, Mumbai; and Dr. Ganga Prasad Prasen, Vice-Chancellor, Central University of Tripura. आप सभी का एक बार पुनः स्वागत करती हूँ। All the honorable speakers present here on the dais are eminent scholars in their field of specialization, recipients of many prestigious academic awards, recognitions, and fellowships. These scholars have published quality research papers in reputed journals. They are members of many reputed nation-building committees. To have such dignitaries amongst us is a sheer privilege. Your scholastic brilliance amazes us, inspires us to nurture our capacities and achieve greater heights. I humbly request the chair to take over the dais and begin with the proceedings of the 11th session of the summit.
Very good afternoon to all of you. Warm welcome to the session 11 on the success stories and best practices of the NEP 2020 implementation. Honorable Her Excellency, Governor, Madam of Uttar Pradesh, Honorable Education Minister, Sri Dharmendra Pradhanji, and other ministers of education, and all my colleagues and delegates. This is going to be an important session. Yesterday evening also we had a similar session on the success stories and best practices. I'm very sure you would love this particular session because I have a very distinguished panel here from different universities and also different locations from India. Friends, the path-breaking reforms recommended in NEP 2020 will bring about a paradigm shift by equipping our students, teachers, and educational institutions with the right competencies and capabilities, and also create an enabling and reinvigorated educational ecosystem for a vibrant new India. The gap between the current state of educational ecosystem and also learning outcomes and what is required must be bridged through undertaking major reforms that bring the highest quality, equity, integrity into the system. We will be completing 2 years on July 29th of this month, the NEP implementation. Today, our panel members, who are all the leaders of their universities, will share their success stories and best practice of NEP implementation. Be it in the areas of multidisciplinary holistic education, skill development courses, and entrepreneurial training, imparting education in regional languages, steps taken in online and digital education, experiments in giving access, equity, inclusion, and also GER enhancement, internationalization of higher education, institutional development plans, new vision for the way forward. In the last 2 days, we have come to know many such initiatives taken by our universities and the institutions. And as you know, this would be an overarching session where you could basically talk about everything, so we need to keep the house in order and very quickly to stick to the time. So now in this session, let us hear from our colleagues first on the best practices for creating an integrated higher education system in India for promoting holistic and multidisciplinary education and instilling more in-depth learning and mastery of curricula across fields to build a specific skill set in some applied and functional areas of daily life like environment, gender, human values, emerging issues related to demographic changes like urbanization and migration, ethical and moral concerns in society. So without wasting much time, let me request my colleagues in the order. Professor Suhas Pednekar, Vice-Chancellor, University of Mumbai. Please.
It's a very good morning. It is my privilege and honor to be part of this session. And I'm really honored to represent University of Mumbai, which is the state university in Maharashtra. And all my Vice-Chancellor colleagues from state universities would agree with me that there are several challenges Vice-Chancellors of state university particularly are working under. University of Mumbai is one of the largest in the country, one of the 3 universities established in 1857. So in its 165 years of journey, whatever we could do as a part of implementation of National Education Policy 2020, I'd like to put before you. And when I say it is largest, just I'll take a few seconds to give you some idea. Currently, we have 847 affiliated colleges with nearly 8.5 lakh students studying, and the jurisdiction is spread over 720 kilometers along the coastal line, including 7 districts, right from the urban, semi-urban, rural, semi-rural, to even tribal district, which is a Palghar district. So there is a complete heterogeneity, and therefore, what I always say, there is challenge. And challenges give us opportunity, challenges give us scope for innovation. And all the unique features which I'm placing before you, which were very much appreciated by the NAC peer team, where we got our 3rd cycle NAC accreditation done very recently, and we received A++ with 3.65 CGPA. Thank you. So first aspect is, which I'll talk about, is that NEP envisions an education system rooted in Indian ethos and promotion of Indian languages, art and culture. I'm very happy to share with you that one of our campus in University of Mumbai at Fort is a heritage building with a convocation hall and the library and the iconic building Rajabai Tower. We take efforts to conserve that heritage and heritage management, and we received the UNESCO Asia Pacific Award in 2018 as an honorable mention. We also received that Arcasi Award in 2017 for architecture honorable mention, and we could manage and sustain that heritage structure through the support from the Tata Group, and we appreciate that. Many of our departments, especially Department of History, takes efforts in promoting the history, culture, and heritage of Mumbai in PG program, and the heritage tourism in Maharashtra. It's taught in UG level, and we also conduct some heritage walks. The postgraduate diploma in museology and art conservation is a unique feature. And our local academy, this is something which is well appreciated by everyone. They take efforts to preserve and document the folk art from the Konkan region, because the entire Konkan region, up from Gujarat border up to Goa border, that comes under the jurisdiction of University of Mumbai. And we have nearly 8 Indian languages. We have department, and they work under the School of Languages. NEP focuses on skill-based education. Another unique feature of University of Mumbai is a dedicated center for skill-based education, which is Garware Institute of Career Education and Development, one of its kind. And here the programs have been promoted through the support from the industry, and that is well received. We have multidisciplinary approach, and very recently we establish a center of excellence in marine studies because of the coastal line we have. The idea is to prepare these students from the coastal line for the new areas. We have started with the school system in the university. Center of Excellence in Sports Science and Sports Management is another addition which was well appreciated. Mumbai University Accelerator Center has been established, and Center of Excellence in Theoretical and Computational Sciences, along with the School of International Relations and Strategic Studies is well received. NEP focuses on multi-language or multilingual education, and as I said earlier, apart from the 8 languages, we have many foreign language departments are working together. And NEP expects consciousness of social. So we have many such activities with under the consciousness. And the last I would like to just mention, it'll take half a minute, is the NEP expects higher education to set up startup incubation center. So University of Mumbai has taken initiative to establish innovation and incubation center. It's called as MU Ideas. We have so far in last 1 year completed 12 startups, 35 innovative practices, 17 awards been received, and the state-of-the-art science, the National Center of Nanoscience and Nanotechnology Center, which University Mumbai has, and that supports all the innovative practices in University of Mumbai. There is so much to talk about, but I understand the shortage of time. Thank you very much. And the next step forward for University of Mumbai to make it digital university. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor Pednekar. Now I request Professor H.N. Nagaraja, Vice-Chancellor, Graphicera University, Dehradun.
Good morning to all of you. Her Excellency Governor of Uttar Pradesh, Minister of Education, dignitaries on the dais, off the dais. Very good morning to all of you. It's indeed my proud privilege and honor to place before you my views, and also the topic is success stories and best practices. If at all the success stories is to be told within 2 years of its implementation, it is wrong on my part. So that's why, because a long way to go by 2035, we shall all of us join together to celebrate this event. But now, as far as the success so far achieved, if it goes to the tip of the triangle, that is our Honorable Prime Minister, Dr. Narendra Modi ji, who has initiated. Subsequently, if you come down, then it comes to, or it goes to UGC and AICT for their round-the-clock rigorous actions, activities taking in this particular direction. Subsequently, it is on the helm of affairs of institutions, that is on we people, and we have to move downwards towards the students, faculty members, and all the stakeholders for that matter. Now, as far as, since I represent Graphicera deemed to be University as Vice-Chancellor, which is situating in Dehradun, the success stories of our Graphicera deemed to be University again depends on it goes to the head of the institution, that is none other than our Honorable President, Dr. Kamal Ganshalaji. Way back in 93, started with 29,000 rupees with 2 PCs. So now the university is having 2 universities with 5 campuses giving educations to 22,000 plus students. Now, to achieve this, as you know, NEP, we are talking of, which has got many tentacles, multidisciplinary, multiple entry, multiple exit options, internationalization, equity, then inclusivity, social responsibility, all these things. Now, as on today, Graphicera deemed to be University is in the top 100 ranked university, and it is NAC accredited, NBA accredited, QS IGESH, so it is already in the platinum rating, and also in the AICT ARIA ranking, we are in the best excellent. Why I am telling all this is, if at all you feel that it is a success, what are the steps we have taken up in this institution, so that itself will talks about this achievement as such. Coming to the multiple multidisciplinary. This university is already a multidisciplinary university, as I've told you. Now we have started multidisciplinary courses also into it. From 2022-23, so we are implementing, of course, in phased manner. So as in the last session, previous day, so Dr. Delhi University Vice-Chancellor was giving it, in fact. So how they have implemented on the same lines, we also have implemented in the multidisciplinary, multiple course as such. Every semester will have 22 credits, and by the end of 4 years, if it is a 3-year degree, 132 credits a student is supposed to acquire, and if it is a 4 years degree, 176. By the end of first year, 44 credit is a must, out of which 60% of the credit should be on the core and 40% of the credit should be earned through different aspects as such, which includes vocational training, then MOOCs, NPTEL platform, etc. So similarly, internationalization, as far as our university is concerned, we are already having 160 students from foreign nationals who are studying in our campus, and we have provided all the facilities for them. Coming to the research arena, more than 1,150 papers are already been published last year. Now this year we are targeting 1,800 papers as such, for which we give the financial assistance to faculty members, even students also. Our students who are studying in both UG and PG are publishing not less than 120 to 200 papers every year for the past 3 years as such. Coming to the patents as such, already we are having 34 patents granted, and every year, so we are publishing not less than 300 to 400 patents as such. Out of the 34 patents, 3 patents have already been commercialized. In addition to that, in helping the students, so we are having technology business incubator, wherein we are having 22 startups already incubated, out of which 3 are already commercialized. One of the startup has already been appreciated by Honorable Prime Minister, so that is ECG machine, so by one of our student, Rajat Jain, so which has already got 1 crore by this Shark Tank also have contributed. So all these are some of the achievements. In addition to that, in social responsibility, our university in Pulwama attack, 40 Martyrs family, please remember, 40 Martyrs families, children can study in Graphic Area University right from LKG to PG, so on free of cost. So without spending even a rupee, all the 40 Martyrs families, children can study. In addition to that, so recently the glacier, so that is Chamoli glacier incident has taken place. For all the people, the shelter has been created, and it has been donated last month, 21st. It was handed over to Chief Minister of Uttarakhand, Mr. Dami. So this has been handed over. So these are all some of the activities which we take up. Another social responsibility activity is the blood donation camp. You believe it or not, on records, I'm telling you, 48,364 units of blood has been donated by Graphic Era for all these years as such. Even during COVID, we have donated not less than 1,500 units every year, both the years. So that is 1,500 years like that. So this is what, of course, there are many things to tell. Last, my sincere request with the UGC and the government of India is, so 32 Vice-Chancellors have been constituted, have been made as a committee, so to take up this NEP activities has to take place quite often. So Graphic Era University, on behalf of the management, I assure you that for all the 40, that is 32 members plus the UGC members, Graphic Era is ready to take up the responsibility of boarding and lodging for the next meeting if it is held in Dehradun. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Nagaraja. Now I will request the next panelist, Professor Alok Kumar Chakrawal, Vice-Chancellor, Guru Ghasidas Vishwavidyalaya, Bilaspur. Please restrict yourself to 5 minutes, please.
Honorable Governor of Uttar Pradesh, Srimati Anandiben Patel ji, Honorable Cabinet Minister for Education, Manniya Dharmendra Pradhan ji, State Ministers, Dr. Subhash Sarkar ji, Srimati Annapurna Devi ji, UGC Chairman, Sri Jagdish Kumar ji, my Chairman and fellow panelists. I'll not take much of time, and I'll speak very crisp and apt. We have big number of success stories, and we are going to publish a 200 pages document on success story of NEP implementation. The very first thing what we did, we have implemented all degrees, all programs, education in regional and national language. That's the very first thing we have done. The second thing, we, along with almost 10 central universities, including Haryana, Jammu, Himachal Pradesh, Jharkhand, Amarkantak, yesterday only there was a meeting, we are implementing academic bank of credit system in toto for PG programs from here onwards, from this academic year only. We have drafted a complete regulation, ordinance, and we are offering options of different courses across these universities. We have a database structure, and we have a very complete, crystal clear idea how to implement. And gradually we are going to percolate it to the graduate level. Next thing, the success story, multiple entry and exit. Obviously, when we are implementing ABC, multiple entry and exit is going to happen there. And it will go along for 7 years registration, and if needed, we can make certain modifications in that. The next very important thing, the underlying objective of the National Education Policy 2020 is, we have to produce well-rounded graduates. After the graduation, the student should not search for jobs and all that. We are creating job creators, but not the job givers. And for that, we have launched a Chhattisgarh, Swavalambi Chhattisgarh Abhiyan in the state of Chhattisgarh, and that is originated from the Central University, Guru Ghasidas Vishwavidyalaya. We have launched a portal where every student is free to register from the Guru Ghasidas Vishwavidyalaya and beyond Guru Ghasidas Vishwavidyalaya, expressing their ability and area of interest where they want to work in part-time manner. While they are studying, they'll be able to do some work and they'll be able to earn their livelihood, their maintenance, their tuition fee and all sort of income. They are depending upon their parents, but now onwards they'll not be dependent. At the same time, industries from primary sector, secondary sector, tertiary sector, all the industries are invited to register on the portal of Guru Ghasidas Vishwavidyalaya Swavalambi Chhattisgarh Abhiyan. And I'm really happy to share with all of you that a big number of registrations have already been done on the portal. I'm sure, as I told you, that I'm going to complete since my very sincere volunteer is coming. So we are having number of stories to share with you. This is very less time. The paucity of time is not letting me to speak much. But thank you very much for giving this platform. And we have a very crystal clear idea how to go and implement this NEP 2020 across the country, across the discipline, and across the various types of institutions. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor Alok Kumar. Now I'll request next panelist, Dr. Shalini Bharat, Director, Tata Institute of Social Sciences, Mumbai.
Namaskar. Honorable Governor of Uttar Pradesh, Honorable Minister of Education, distinguished panelists, and distinguished audience. The National Education Policy is all about holistic, comprehensive education with commitment to social equity, equality, and social justice. There are 5 very distinct C's talked about: critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, curiosity, communication. There is one more C that you see throughout the document, which is about community engagement. And I'm going to talk a little about community engagement, though there are many other success stories that probably I could talk about, but let me focus on one. The National Education Policy recognizes the immense importance of connecting youth with the society, societal issues, and being grounded in India's value system, and most of all, the contextual realities of contemporary India. This, from its very beginning, from its very inception in 1936, adopted a teaching learning pedagogy which blended classroom teaching with field-based learning in diverse settings of industries, clinics, hospitals, NGO sector, slum settings, informal settlements, prisons, childcare and women institutions, mental health institutions, rural settings, corporate settings, etc., and the list is long. We have been implementing the community engagement approach in two distinct ways. One, all educational programs, and when I say all educational programs, I mean from social work to human resource management, from public health to public policy, from climate action and change to community and counseling psychology. All programs have a very strong and robust fieldwork and internship system, which could be concurrent or which could be a block semester fieldwork. Not only that this is field-based practice, but it's credited for the students, and there is a full evaluation and assessment system which is put in place. The other very distinct, noteworthy, unique feature of the Institute is that we have the rich tradition of initiating field action projects that diagnose societal problems, and through sustained field engagement, they find short-term and long-term solutions which are sustainable solutions. These FAPs or field action projects are conceptualized and guided by faculty and have been running, some of them have been running for as many as 30 years. Many such FAPs have had policy impacts for the government, many have led to policy reforms, and many have been adopted by state governments for implementation in their districts. Additionally, the field action projects they serve to train students in community engagement practice and provide very critical data for evidence building. These field action projects and the field-based learning that students give the special edge to our students and take them far ahead in their careers. In fact, they are really the turning points for students in the Institute. Let me just give a few examples, and I'm sure you are familiar with some of them. Mostly, I think many people are familiar with Childline 1098, which was initiated by a student during her fieldwork when she watched street children being abused on the streets and had nowhere to go. And she found that the children wanted to connect with an authority, with the police, and they themselves said the number that they want to call is 1098. That is how Childline came into existence. Then there is the special cells for women in the police system, which is now part of many of the state governments. There is also Chunauti, and many of you may have heard about Koshish, which was the social audit of children and child care and women's institutions, starting, of course, in Muzaffarnagar, Bihar. And then there is iAccess, which for the first time created a position of accessibility for children and students with disabilities in institutions of higher learning. Well, what I'm talking about is how community engagement can be a part of curriculum and not just left as something which sits outside the NEP implementation as we go along, looking at the years ahead of us for the NEP implementation. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Shalini Bharat. I now request Dr. Ganga Prasad Prasain, Vice-Chancellor, Central University of Tripura, for an intervention. 3 minutes, please.
Namaskar. Her Excellency, Governor of Uttar Pradesh, Honorable Minister of Education, Government of India, learned panel, and my fellow delegates, invitees, ladies and gentlemen. Tripura University, along with other Central University of Northeast India, are university under multidisciplinary education and research university. All the universities, including Tripura University, have already started preparation for course and syllabi under NEP 2020. We are going to start teaching under NEP 2020 from this academic session 2022. all the universities of Northeast India have joined under CUCT, and I am very happy to inform that many thousand students have applied for studying in different courses which are being taught in Tripura University as well as other central universities of Northeastern region. There are some languages which are spoken by the scheduled tribe people, though these are not recognized in the 8th schedule of Indian Constitution, are being taught at PG level in different universities of Northeast India. For example, there is a language called Kokbrok, which is being taught up to master degree and PhD degree level in Tripura University, which is very, very important component in the NEP 2020, where it is very clearly mentioned that we should try to start teaching under local language and mother tongue also. Again, in line with NEP 2020, Tripura University has started teaching and learning under multiple exit and multiple entry. For example, there is a course called Integrated Master Degree Program, which was started in the year 2011, and for 391 seats this year, we have received 53,340 applications for admission in this program. Tripura University has two important skill-based courses. They are BVoc in rubber technology and BVoc in film and video production. For 50 seats in this film production, we have received 3,200 applications. And for 50 seats in this rubber technology, we have received more than 2,000 applications. All the students who will pass BVoc under rubber technology and film production are employed, and many of them become job creators, which is one of the important objectives of the NEP. So those students who complete this BVoc in these two skill-based courses have become entrepreneur and job creator in different parts of Tripura and outside Tripura also. Tripura University is the first university which was granted incubation center by the Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises. Two ideas has been generated. One is regarding purification of water, and another is in connection with production of this composting fiber. So we have started one technology where we change the dead leaf kitchen waste to manure, organic manure, and this has been supplied to the outside Tripura University, and our students are getting employment by producing this composting technique, which is born in Tripura University. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Ganga Prasad Prasain. I know this 5 minutes for each of the panelists is very, very small time to give the best practices or even success stories. I was telling Professor Pednekar that your mere presence on the stage itself is good enough. They would know about Bombay University or any other university for that matter. And then, you can take it personally, the discussions with the delegates during coffee break and other time. So now I would like to follow the same pattern we followed in the previous session, but I would request the people to not ask questions rather than telling their stories. Because I know that each one of you have a best practices. Each one of you have some success stories in a small way. I know in the last 2 years, I think many of you have implemented, and also pandemic has given us a lot of scope for working towards and making these implementation plan of NEP more successful. That is why I request the audience to stick to their questions to the panelists rather than telling their experience in their university, which you could share during the tea break or during lunch break in the afternoon. And also you maybe send an email to each individuals without wasting time. So now we can take questions from the floor, please. Yeah.
इस पूरे सदन को नमस्कार। मैं इलाहाबाद यूनिवर्सिटी से हूँ, वाइस चांसलर हूँ इलाहाबाद यूनिवर्सिटी की। 134 साल पुरानी यूनिवर्सिटी है, सेंट्रल यूनिवर्सिटी है, और हम लोग ने पिछले 1.5 सालों में एनईपी के ऊपर जो मंथन किया और जो इंटीग्रेटेड कोर्सेज हमने निकाले उसमें से, उसके बारे में थोड़ी सी बातचीत बस करना चाहती हूँ।
वेरी ब्रीफली मैडम।
यूँ तो मैं बुकलेट बना के लाई हूँ, पर 10 कोर्सेज हम लोगों ने बनाए हैं और सबसे मुख्य बात जो है वो 4 साल का जो अंडर ग्रेजुएट होने वाला है और जो सेमेस्टर में परिवर्तित होना है, उसमें जो 1 साल और जुड़ता है उस 4 साल में, उसको हम लोग कैसे पढ़ाएंगे, उसके बारे में हम लोगों ने बहुत परिचर्चाएँ की और उसमें ये निष्कर्ष निकाला कि कैरेक्टर बिल्डिंग स्टूडेंट्स की करना बहुत ज़रूरी है और राष्ट्र के लिए प्रेम उनमें जगाना बहुत आवश्यक है। इसलिए पहला 6 महीने का कोर्स हमने मेजर्स और कर्नल्स से बनवाया है, जो कि नेशनलिज्म के ऊपर आधारित है और सिलेबस बन गया है। और दूसरी जो हमारी बेस्ट प्रैक्टिस है, उसमें हमने 3 फाउंडेशन कोर्सेज किए हैं, एक जिसमें कि 8 लैंग्वेजेस हैं और एक जिसमें स्किल से रिलेटेड 10-12 कोर्सेज हैं जो कि इलेक्टिव्स हैं, 6-6 महीने के इलेक्टिव्स हैं, जिनको कि 6 इलेक्टिव्स 4 साल के समय में कोई भी स्टूडेंट कर सकता है और उनके क्रेडिट्स भी डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड है।
थैंक यू
तो
मैडम।
इस तरीके से हम लोगों ने 10 कोर्सेज बनाए हैं। 10 कोर्सेज के नाम बस मैं बता देना चाहती हूँ।
I think you have your website, all of
Yeah,
them will look
we
at
will
it.
we will
Thank you
put
so
it on
much.
the website.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
yes.
you.
Sir, allow me. This is
Sir.
Dr. Professor Velraj.
May I, sir?
Yeah, please.
डॉक्टर राज सिंह, जैन यूनिवर्सिटी बेंगलुरु। सर, माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के बाद 3 दिन में किसी ने भी स्पोर्ट्स की बात नहीं की है। हमारा विश्वविद्यालय स्पोर्ट्स से फोकस करता है। खेलो इंडिया 2021 के विनर, 10 ओलंपिक प्लेयर, 100 इंटरनेशनल प्लेयर्स और 400 से ज़्यादा नेशनल प्लेयर्स प्रोड्यूस कर चुके हैं हम लोग, इंक्लूडिंग KL राहुल, द कैप्टन ऑफ इंडियन क्रिकेट टीम। मेरा ऐसा मानना है कि यूनिक रिसर्च सेंटर जैसे फायर एंड कंबशन रिसर्च सेंटर, वन ऑफ इट्स काइंड इन एशिया, एंड द वर्ल्ड क्लास स्पोर्ट्स फैसिलिटीज हैव कंट्रीब्यूटेड टू मोर देन 2000 फॉरेन स्टूडेंट्स बीइंग अट्रैक्टेड एंड A++ ग्रेड विथ 3.71। मैं आपसे पैनल से पूछना चाहता हूँ कोई ऐसा प्रभावी तरीका कि हम स्पोर्ट्स को कैसे लर्निंग आउटकम असेसमेंट में इंटीग्रेट कर सकते हैं।
Thank you.
Sir.
Can I say?
Yeah, would you like to take first the answer from the panelists or you?
No, you please answer.
Yes, sir, we expect answer.
Yeah, certainly, because as my university, we have started offering sports as a course and we are giving the credit. Each of the universities should start offering as an elective or compulsory subject for the different sports, and I think that will suffice. One more thing, Government of India is spending more than 4% of the GDP on education, and that's quite considerable. And we are fastest growing economy, so that is also including the previous question. That's it.
Thank you.
Hello.
Sir.
Thank you. I would like to say, let us be positive. I think a lot of success stories, a lot of best practices have happened. I think we will focus on that rather than being negative about what we are doing. Thank you so much. Let's go to the next question, please.
Can
A lady over there.
Yeah, okay.
No, please wait. I told you.
With due respect
One
to
alternative.
all the respected persons over here, I am from Health Institute, Vice-Chancellor of Krishna Institute of Medical Sciences, Karad, Maharashtra. I want to say only 3 things. One thing, every university should form a NEP cell and report accordingly to UGC within 1 month. Now, next thing, I just think all these presentations should be in PowerPoint presentation, and time limit and number of slides should be limited. Number 3, all these activities, a follow-up should be taken by the UGC, and every university should give follow-up within 6 months' time.
Thank you. Thank you for the suggestion. Over here,
Sir,
please.
I am from Sri Ramchandra Institute at Chennai, and just to add on to the sports development, we have got one of the best center for sports in our institution, which is recognized Asia-wise, and we are also developed quite a lot of the rover world medal was also done through our water sports facility. So I think we also run educational programs under the Center for Sports, like BSc in electrophysiology, in terms of sports nutrition, sports physiotherapy. So all these components are done under one roof in our institution.
Thank you.
Sir.
Thank you for the information.
Sir,
Madam over there, left side.
can I, sir?
Yeah.
Sir, here.
Sir, this is my voice.
No, lady, I told you.
Sir,
Wait.
sir. Hello. Sir, just in front of you.
Okay, please go ahead.
Sir, I'm here, sir.
Go ahead.
सर मेरा एक सजेशन है कि जितने भी टॉपिक्स पे हम लोगों ने 3 दिन बातें की हैं उनका एक गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से ऐप बन जाए। जितनी भी यूनिवर्सिटीज़ और कॉलेज हैं हर एक एक्शन जो ले रही हैं उन कॉलम्स में उनको वो अपडेट करते रहे और यूनिवर्सिटीज़ और कॉलेज अकॉर्डिंग टू दैट एक्टिविटीज़ वो भी उनको फॉलो करें। तो एक कंप्लीट गाइडलाइंस मिल जाएगा कॉलेजेस को भी और यूनिवर्सिटीज़ को भी।
Thank you, madam. Just, you see, you could see all the 3 days, UGC chairman is sitting in that chair all along and making notes also.
Yes.
So definitely this will be done. Have the confidence in our system. It will, definitely, we will move ahead with the action plan for the NEP implementation.
Yes, thank
So
you.
next please, over there.
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Sir, I am from BLD
Madam,
University.
madam,
I am from BLD
madam,
University.
man.
The success story of this conference, I want to see that the Union Minister himself is here for 3 days. That is the most success. The success of this NEP is, Madam Honorable Governor is here for 3 days. That is a success. They are serious. What I want to tell is they are serious in the spirit and letter. And
No,
I
come
think,
to the question, please.
yes, sir.
You come to the question.
Now we are ready to implement with the seriousness of the minister, and I think NEP will take its off, and India will see the new changes of the education. And I compliment all the vice chancellors and the minister that will implement in spirit and letter NEP, sir. It
Thank
will
you.
be success
Thank you.
story.
Thank you.
क्वेश्चन आंसर सेशन को यहीं समाप्त करते हुए
One more lady question, I think.
Sir, I want to be here.
Lady will be the last one.
Sir, the last question I want to say is, I am Dr. Tripta Bhagat, representing Santosh Deemed University, which is a health university from Ghaziabad. Sir, I just want to say that I have been here 3 days hearing to all these sessions, but no way medical colleges or health university has been referred to, and I would like that whenever we have a session of the NEP 2020, the integration should be between NEP 2020 and the NMC, so that we also are on the same platform.
Thank you,
Good suggestion.
ma'am.
Thank you so much. I think we'll close the session for this.
क्वेश्चन
Then I will
आंसर
make a
सेशन
remark.
क्वेश्चन आंसर सेशन को यहीं समाप्त करते हुए मैं सादर आग्रह करती हूँ अध्यक्ष महोदय से कि आप आएं और संक्षिप्त में अपना कंक्लूडिंग रिमार्क दें।
Good afternoon. Very happy to hear the success stories and best practices from all of you. Many important suggestions came in this session. As many of them felt, I think I'm very sure UGC chairman has taken the note and he will create an online platform to archive some of these success stories and also the way forward. This is a session which requires a lot of time because everyone would like to say something, what they have done, because NEP 2020 document itself is there are micro aspects, many small things which will lead to a bigger steps. Let me share very briefly in my allotted 4 minutes of time. I thought I will tell about success story of an institution which was created in the Northeast in 1994 by the students' movement of Assam. This is Indian Institute of Technology, Guwahati, which was born in 1994. It's completed 27 years. And friends, let me tell you, the number of the citation per faculty of Indian Institute of Technology, Guwahati, has gone up to number 2 in the nation, and number 41 in the last year, and this year we are 37 in the world. This is a great achievement. With a publication of almost close to 2,200 Scopus Index journal publication by a faculty of 450 and close to about 2,300 PhD students. So this is an amazing for an institution which was actually located in a place where there was no accessibility that time. But today, in the placement, as per the India Today record, IIT Guwahati is number 1 in the country, beating all older IITs. So which also gives you, with a 26 lakhs of average salary for a student, that clearly tells us location is no more significant. We can really work from anywhere you want, thanks to COVID and also the online and digital education. I shall share 2 best practices in a very simple way in 2009 we implemented. As I told you, how did we become number 2 citation per faculty so quickly? That is, when I joined 2019, I found out, because we are a country of very different culture, nature, and also the names, Southern India, we don't have surnames. And surname, and also the names, TG, Sitharam, it will be expanded that, and Sitharam TG. So all these corpus index journals have complexities of your names. So I think I requested my all faculty first check their names in the citation index of Scopus. When we did that, and also there is a facility to merge. So I also urge all the university to take this step. It's a very simple step. It doesn't cost you any money. Please ask your authors to check their citation and also affiliation. Some of them still affiliated to their parent university in US or Canada or wherever they got educated from. So when we did that correction, we could get a large number of citations. Second minor thing, very small thing. We also identified people who have published in a top-notch journal like Nature and many such top journals. We asked them why they are not going for open access journals, open access possibilities. They said, it's costing a lot of money, 3.5 lakhs. So we said, institute will pay for it automatically. We paid that excess money for the making as an open access content, which brought in a lot of citation. But we have to be careful because we need to select those journals very carefully. So we empowered the faculty and the department heads to do that. In their department, select which journal what you wanted to support, where you will have more impact. So that is another simple example we did. And similarly, even though the patenting is only costs you 50,000, 60,000 rupees. I congratulate AICTE actually in this to support the patent costs. And similarly, we did at IIT Guwahati. We have filed in last 2.5 years 200 patents. I know that filing is not the important thing. At the end of the day, what you transfer, technology transfer. So IIT Guwahati, we were able to do 22 technology transfers and 22 companies co-located within the campus in our research park. So these are some of the achievements for an institution which is located in a very difficult place where even people were not even going there that time, in 90s to 2010. So friends, let me tell you, Indian Institute of Technology, Guwahati, or any Indian Institute of Technologies for that matter, were started as engineering colleges in 1960s. And they remain so, let me tell you, they remain so as quality engineering colleges till 2010 or 2005. But later they have become a truly multidisciplinary institutions and also become a firm brand ambassador of India, and they are today institutes of Indian technologies. With these brief remarks, I thank the organizers, particularly UGC, for giving me this opportunity to share my thought of, and I request, many universities should work together, and we should create network of excellence in regional areas. And again, their ministry's GLUE project, GLUE grant, was really a very tremendous project which is coming up. Hopefully, they will soon announce it. You should look for that, because this is what networking is all about today. We have to come together to work together. It is not that every facility will be in one single university or in one place. So we need to come together, work together. This is what the future is like. With this brief remark, I thank the organizers once again, and I thank all my panelists for cooperating with us to stick to their time. Thank you. All the best. Namaskar. Jai Hind.
धन्यवाद सर। इसी के साथ यह सत्र यहीं समाप्त होता है।